But right now I've got Ozzie Jurek on the line with me. Hey, Ozzie, notice I've got this little bit of a cold thing happening. Do you think it makes me sound a little more mature?
It does, Mike. It does, definitely. Just like my accent makes me a lot more mature.
Well, I was thinking I'm going to be like another week like this will be like the Barry White of finance.
Hey,
hi, baby.
And this is what you do. You reinvent yourself all the time. It's wonderful.
There you go. Hey, look, excuse me. We were talking a few months ago when they first put in the foreign buyers tax. That was a good kick. Actually, some changes took place first in February of last year, but then the foreign buyers tax, and then we had the mortgage rules eligibility change for insurance, that kind of stuff. And you were saying that, look, you thought this stuff was going to bring about a 20% correction anyways. Well, I looked at the numbers this past week, and I guess you're there. We arrived. Yeah, you said by the end of this quarter we'd be there.
Yeah, well, right now we're at 19%. We were 1,099,000 in January last year, and now we're 885,000. So it's a fact. It's not to be debated. It's a 19% decline in the average price. The market overall was really not that good for Vancouver. 39% down in sales, and single-family homes were down a whopping 57%. Condo sales did better, but overall, Mike, the downturn in the market is mind-boggling. Can you imagine all the commissions, legal fees, and everything that's associated with house prices that were lost? Now, in the Valley, it was somewhat better. Sales were down 27%, prices only down 5%, and you can really see the foreign buyer has left the market when you see that the single-family market in the Fraser Valley is also down 50% in sales. But, hey, condo sales were up 42%, so there's a real shift going from the single-family to the affordability sector, which is condos and townhouses.
Well, it's interesting. You watch also the numbers coming out of Toronto and Seattle, and one of the big lessons I wish our politicians would learn, and on a variety of, and people who are in the political establishment, organized labor would be top of my list for this one, that, excuse me, when things change, people change their behavior. In this case, when Vancouver did this in isolation, you just knew money was going to flow elsewhere. It wasn't the money was going to stop, it was just going to slow down for Vancouver, but that meant good news for different areas.
No question about it, and you and I talked about it just in August. I mean, we said now that's going to go, the money is going to go where you still have the onerous tax is not required. And in fact, we have our Land Rush conference coming up on March 4th, and we made sure that we have a speaker from Seattle that is going to outline what happened there. It's our number one U.S. recommendation this year in our Outlook issue is Seattle because it's burning higher, and so you could maybe go along for the ride. Toronto, by the way, is up. Sales are up 12%, but the price is up a whopping 22%. Single-family homes even higher now at 26%. Condo sales are higher, and then the listings are down 50%. I don't think Toronto ever had only 5,000 listings. I remember most markets it had over 22,000. Last year it had 10. Now it's 5,000. That's 2,500 less than Vancouver, and it's a much larger market. So you know what's going to happen to prices in Toronto.
Hey, look, I want to come to Calgary, as an example, too, though. We've got Joseph Schachter saying, yes, he thinks there's another little dip coming in the oil market. And you want to hear his full remarks, you got to go and get the Outlook video, which is excellent. He gave an absolute blueprint. But I'm thinking maybe it's time to get into that Calgary market. I know their sales have certainly picked up. I didn't see much in prices, but I was thinking maybe Calgary's got some interesting things.
It's a stunner, Mike. I mean, sales are up 24%. Well, it's only 1 month, right? But from 765 to 947, it's quite an increase in sales. The average price is actually 2% higher. It's not big, but it's higher, not lower. And active listings are down 18%. So everything is in place. When listings are down and sales are higher, it bodes well for prices. Single-family homes are up 3%. Condo prices are about even. And the blow me out of the room kind of numbers come out of Edmonton. The condo price was actually up 8% higher. Now remember, it's just January, but I mean, we all heard that Edmonton is tough, right? Sales are up 6%, prices are up. Hey, maybe things are turning.
Well, I'm going to have to wait for your March Outlook conference to be able to find out if that's going to get on your recommended list for investors. But, yeah, as you say, the noteworthy thing is, excuse me, maybe that $50 oil price, $55 oil price is starting to be reflected in other sectors.
Yeah, no question. Maybe there's more confidence. And the other thing is nothing goes ever down forever and nothing goes ever up forever, right? So every boom is followed by a bust and vice versa. And maybe the bust is slow to get better.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch on that. As I say, it's obviously got a relationship to, I mean, I didn't like their employment numbers. They're still way off there, but I did like, sort of the boost we've seen in some of the income, some of the oil companies because of the higher prices. So we'll see. It's never easy on one variable, but by March, I expect you to have that all for me.
You betcha.
Okay. Ozzie, you go out and have a terrific weekend. I hope you're hitting the slopes. You know me. I just imagine you in that big sort of Michelin tire like outfit that you've got. You load yourself in and look out. Here comes Jurok.
You know, Mike, when I ski like a young god and float down like a butterfly down the down the mountain, nobody I know sees me. But when I'm laying in a ditch, with my pole sticking out of here, people I haven't seen in 20 years saying, Ozzie, how you doing?
But that's enough about your Friday night. Ozzie Jurok, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back. You can find him at jurok.com.